Alright guys, so today we're going to be covering convergent boundaries, which is this one in the middle. This is when we have two plates colliding, alright? They're crashing against each other. Notice the capital C for convergent boundaries. Notice the capital C for colliding plates, right? So we're going to have two plates colliding, and these are going to be the features. So we're going to cover all the features, the things that happen, the characteristics that happen on the crust of the earth due to this type of boundaries, right? Just so we can recap, when we have a convergent boundary, we have two plates colliding, right? These are plates that are colliding. Usually one plate is destroyed and the other one is going to be creating a lot of stuff, right? So we're going to be looking at. Okay, so this is the one in the middle. Let's take a look at them. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the three types of convergent boundaries that we're going to have. First is when we have two continental plates. Both plates carry a continent. They're going to be colliding. We're going to see the features. The next one is when we have an oceanic plate and a continental plate that collide. And the last one will be whenever we have two oceanic plates. Those are the ones carrying an ocean on top that are colliding, and each of them is going to have its own characteristics and features that are going to be created due to that. So let's jump right into it. The first one we're going to be looking at is when we have two continental plates colliding. Usually when we're going to have two continents colliding, due to the same density that each of those plates carry, since both of them are continental plates, they don't have an ocean on the top, the density of those plates is the same. And instead of one sinking, like in this example, most of the times we can have two plates as they collide building up. That's why these mountains are going to be formed, because neither of them will sink. Both of them will be, instead of sinking, both of them are going to be growing up a mountain, right? So the features that are going to be formed there is going to be folded mountains like the Himalayas, right? One of those, the most, I guess, famous mountain there on the Himalayas will be Mount Everest. So there's the other example of, you see how neither of those plates sinks and is destroyed. So since neither of them is sinking, since both of those plates are colliding, they have to go somewhere, and the only direction they can go, since neither of them sinks, will be up, forming those big old mountains. Those mountains are growing every year. Okay. So that's when we have two continental plates. If we flip the page, we're going to be looking at the example when we have an oceanic plate and a continental plate. So here's the oceanic plate. This is denser, it's heavier, it has an ocean on the top. So therefore, as they collide, this one sinks due to the density difference on it. And the continental plate is going to stay on the top. Actually, it's going to be building up a little, and we are going to see a lot of volcanoes. All right, so a couple mountains, volcanoes. Look at this one, the trench. That's called a deep trench and a subduction zone. Subduction zone is when the continent, or not, I'm sorry, not the continent, but the plate, the oceanic plate that is heavier, that sinks, is destroyed back into the mantle, so it's recycled. All right, this deep trench, you're gonna see it on the ocean. Okay, so those are the characteristics that you're gonna be looking at. So you're gonna be looking at volcanoes, deep trenches, and subduction zones. That's when you have an oceanic and a continental plate. And the last one is when you have two oceanic plates colliding. And notice that whenever you have two oceanic plates colliding, you're going to have, there's an oceanic plate and an oceanic plate. So what you're going to see is a deep trench, you're going to see volcanic islands, and you're going to see a subduction zone. This subduction zone, when this continent sinks, is probably, this is an older plate than this one. Since it's older, it's been underwater longer, the density is going to be more compared to this one, so it's going to sink. As they sink, we know that all the organic materials that were exposed to the ocean earlier on time, they're going to be burning, and they're going to be creating these gases and pressure that they're going to be looking for an exit, And that's how those volcanoes are formed. As those gases form and exit, they actually build up all the ground that is around that crust of the earth, and then it builds a volcano and finds an exit to all that pressure that was built. Okay, so the characteristics that you're going to see, or the features that you're going to see when you have two oceanic plates colliding, will be volcanoes, deep trenches, and subduction zones. All right, so that is it. Remember what we looked at today? Today we look at those convergent boundaries. These are plates that are colliding.